Welcome back, everyone, to the BRICKITECT studio. As always, I hope you're having a glorious day out there. This video is coming to you very late. This is actually a follow-up on a video that we made last week, which was the Is BRICKITECT Buying It on the 2021 LEGO Super Mario sets. If you missed that video, basically I brought Clarkman down, sat him down beside me, and we went through all of the new sets that were revealed, and I asked him which ones he wants to buy. And as a surprise to no one, he wanted every single one of them. So we put that video out, and after that we started getting comments, and I was getting messages on Instagram from people asking me to do an Is BRICKITECT Buying It on the LEGO Marvel 2021 sets. And I was like, oh snap, they released those or revealed those. So I went on to BrickSet and I started looking at them, and I'm like, Marvel may be my new favorite theme. So I wanted to bring you along with me today. It's just me this time because you guys know if Clarkman's here, he's going to want every single one. So it's going to be my opinion on these, and there's going to be some that I don't want to get. So let's jump into it here to my desktop. Here we are on the first set. This one is LEGO Marvel Avengers set 76168. This is Captain America mech armor. And this is my first buy. This is a 121 piece set, and it sells for $10 here. And I like this for a few reasons. I like it because of the shield. That's like the main reason I want to get it. Also because we just love mechs. You guys know we like making action figures and such, and this is perfect to me. Shield piece is just like, it's awesome. I'm glad that it's not a sticker. It appears to be printed, so that makes me happy. And I think it's just all tiles on this, so that's fantastic. I also like it because of the Captain America minifig. I don't know if this is exclusive or not. I'm not that much of a LEGO nerd to be able to tell you how many times this was released or if it's new or not. I just like the way it looks, and as a part of my LEGO collecting journey, I would like this set to be a part of it. So that is our first buy. The next set here, we have a similar one. This one features Thor. This is Thor's mech armor. And this one, I'm sorry to say to the Thor-tectors out there, if there is such a thing, I'm not overly stoked about this one. There's nothing about this that like draws me in that I absolutely need. It's a Thor mech, which is cool enough, but I think I can pass on this one. It's only $10 though, so if you were to splurge on it, it definitely wouldn't break you by any means. But for me personally, I'm gonna let this one sit. This next one here only has one image, so I apologize for that, but this is 76170. This is Iron Man versus Thanos. This is a 4+ set, and this sells for $20. And if this was like 2 years ago, I could probably see us getting this, but as it stands now, Clark is well beyond the 4+ scene, and just for those two minifigs, I don't see a reason to get this, especially considering we had the Thanos mech from the last year, I think. So I'm going to let this one sit as well. What I'm not going to let sit, though, is this set. This is a LEGO Marvel Spider-Man set, 76171. This is Miles Morales mech armor, 125 pieces. This is, again, a $10 set. And this one, this is the second best, in my opinion, the second best Marvel set that's coming out in this wave. This mech is awesome. Obviously, Miles Morales is a part of this, and that's the main draw to this for me. Let me get into the minifig here. I love that minifig, or minifinger if you've been around long enough. I love the hoodie that he's wearing, the fact that it's unzipped. You can see the Spider-Man logo in there. It's probably one of the coolest minifigs that you could put in your collection, and I just think it looks great. Along with the mech armor for $10, this is a no-brainer. This is an absolute buy for us, so we will be snagging that. So that only takes our expenditure at this point to $20 on these, and we're getting two really decent sets. But that's all going to change. Actually, it's not when we see this set. This is 76172, Spider-Man and Sandman Showdown. Again, this is another 4+ set, and I understand why they make these because there's a lot of younger kids that love Spider-Man. There's nothing here for me. Again, if this was probably 2 or 3-year-old Clark, he'd be all over this, but for me, it's 45 pieces. The whole vehicle looks like it's essentially putting like 6 pieces on top of that pre-built frame, and you put some wheels on it. I don't really need the Sandman minifig, so I'm going to be passing on this one. What I'm not going to be passing on, though, is the best set of this wave. This is 76173. This is Spider-Man and Ghost Rider versus Carnage, and I have a whole backstory for Carnage because this is a minifig that means, well, the character itself means a lot to me because when I was in, I want to say like 4th grade, I remember for a Christmas gift from a classmate, I ended up getting a Carnage action figure, and I just loved that figure so much. And then I ended up getting the Maximum Carnage video game for Sega Genesis. This is definitely dating me, but I loved Carnage for that reason. And I don't have a Carnage minifig yet. I almost had one when I was at Kmart one day. I remember seeing the original Carnage set that came out. It was like this little flying helicopter type thing. And I had it in my hands, and I should have bought it, but that was back when Dealetect was very strict with his money, and I passed on it. Now that set goes for like $30. It was like $9 at the time. And I ended up passing on Carnage once again. I think he came out 2 other times, or maybe one other time with those motorcycles that came out like a year ago. And I'm just like, I wasn't loving that set, but this one I do love because this to me feels like a Speed Champion set with the Ghost Rider. Let me see if I can get you some other images so you can see the car a little bit better. Well, there's the minifigs. There's Carnage. You got Ghost Rider. Amazing. I don't have a Ghost Rider minifig yet either. I passed on the Ghost Rider set from a while back. Another Spider-Man to throw in the collection. We've got plenty of those. But the car feels like a vintage Speed Champion set to me. And this set's a $20 set, so you're paying a little bit of a premium. If it was just Ghost Rider in the car, it'd be $15. But then you got the 2 extra minifigs with Carnage and Spider-Man taking up to $20. So I still feel like that's pretty fair. And in my opinion, this is the coolest set that come out of this wave. I just think it's fantastic, and I want this in my life. So this is going to be probably a day one must buy for me. I don't even think I'm going to wait for the 20% off because I just like it so much. That takes us to the next set here, and this one I'm not like in love with. This is 76174 Spider-Man's Monster Truck versus Mysterio. This to me has very much Burger Monster Truck vibes, only it doesn't look like it's as articulate and it doesn't have as much character as that. But again, if you're a huge Spider-Man fan, I could see snagging this. This is going to be a $40 set, which isn't that bad. Like the prices on all these feel very fair. This has Spider-Man, Spider-Gwen, Mysterio, Dr. Octopus. I don't know. I could see kids really loving this. But as an adult, again, if Clark was sitting here, Clark would be like, need that in my life. Yes, that's an absolute buy. But for me, I'm like, yeah, we can let that sit as well. And that takes me to the final set here. And again, the images are pretty rough on this one, but I think you can see it somewhat. And I may have to actually bring it down here so you can see the bottom corner. But this set, I was kind of back and forth on, but I'm kind of leaning towards buy on this, surprisingly. Just because it's almost like the Spider-Man Hall of Armor. In fact, it's called Attack on the Spider Layer, 76175. Price on this, $70. That's not bad. How many pieces do we have here? This is 466. So you piece guys are doing the math right now and saying this is a bad deal. But I really love the Spider-Man costumes that are with this. You get a Venom with this as well. It looks like you can have some fun with that little basketball action that's happening on the right side. And if I bring this down, you might be able to see that better. I like it. I like this set. I think Clark would enjoy this. You got a quarter ramp there, a quarter pipe. You've got a skateboard. You got a motorcycle. This set screams fun. And I think being that I'm saving so much money and not buying a lot of the other smaller sets, I feel like this definitely fits within the budget. So you're talking 70 for this, 20 for the Ghost Rider car, and then another 20 for the 2 mechs. And I'm at $110 here on, 4 sets coming out of this wave? And I just think this wave's great. I mean, this is really good stuff. And again, Marvel, it's creeping up for me. I find myself in these days and times, and I guess I'll bring you guys back out here. I find myself in these days and times mainly collecting sets for minifigures because I don't know, I just really love Lego minifigs, if you couldn't tell. And these Marvel sets and DC sets, a lot of these ones, oftentimes you'll buy the sets just for those. But when you have Clarkman with you, who's into building the sets now and playing with them, there's a lot of playability here, and especially on that last one. Like that one I would probably be like, nah, I don't necessarily need it. But with him, I think he'll enjoy building it. I get the characters that I want, and for having like this layout, like say we do a showcase on this, I think you've got the lair, you've got the Ghost Rider car, you've got some mechs, you've got a little bit of everything, you got a motorcycle in there as well. You've got enough of everything to kind of create like a whole little play set and like a whole showpiece there. So I'm pretty excited about these ones. More so, I'm probably more excited about these sets, honestly, than I am about the Lego Super Mario sets. And I think Clark would probably say the opposite, but that's what makes things fun. We all have different interests, and when you have a kid, you can use them as an excuse to get things that you wouldn't necessarily be into or need an excuse to get into, and that's the value that Clark brings to my world. Not to mention a ton of other things. It's just, it's awesome. So that's my thoughts on the Lego Marvel 2021 sets that have been revealed so far. I'm curious to see what you guys think about my assessment on these. I'm curious to see what you guys are getting as well. And I want to issue an apology to everyone that's been waiting like a week for me to make this video. It's finally out. So there's my thoughts, and that's how I feel about all these things. I'm definitely most excited about getting that Carnage set, and I'm just really stoked about this wave in general. So thank you so much for watching, and I hope you guys have a good rest of your day, and we'll see you in the next one.